What is up, y'all? I'm Benjamin Outdoors, and this is my channel.
What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm actually working on my F250, trying to figure out an issue that I've had for probably 60 to 80,000 miles in maybe like 3-4 years. It's been a long time, and it hasn't been a huge concern just because the truck still safely runs and drives down the road. But I just have to be careful when it rains because this is an ABS issue. Now, obviously, you know, it's important to have ABS. But again, I have tons of bikes that I ride, so I don't drive it a lot. And when I do, you know, I'm just careful when it rains. I don't slam on the brakes, and if I do have to, I just, you know, obviously don't lock them up. But when I first initially had this problem come up, it was like making the lights flash on the dash. And it was when I was driving back and forth from Alabama to Louisiana. For work. That was when I was working in the oil and gas industry as a commercial diver. And then I also was driving to Central Florida to visit Morgan. So I was driving so many miles, and this was a weird issue. You put the cruise control on, and if you hit a bump, it would actually surge. Like the miles per hour would jump around, and it would just, you know, it would jerk around. You don't press anything. It was just all digital. And come to find out now, knowing what I know now, is it must have been the suspension compressing and it bending the wire that was about to break. So once the wire actually officially broke completely, I didn't have any surging issues. It drove normal. I just always had the ABS light on. So I just basically didn't bother with anything at that point. Then I also had a noise coming out of the front left hub, and that was at like 30 or 40,000 miles. I drove with it like that for maybe 30 or 40,000 miles, and then I ended up replacing the hub because the ABS light was also on because the front left sensor was bad because there was metal grinding inside the hub. That was bad. The hub should not have gone bad that early in the truck's life, I think, because I didn't do any hardcore off-roading, I didn't get water in there, anything like that, but it is what it is. So I put that in, and it fixed that issue for a little while. So it was just the right rear that was giving me issues. And I never really tried to track down exactly what it was. I did replace the sensor, but that didn't fix it. Come to find out now, it was a broken wire behind the plug that goes, that's on the actual truck harness side. So when I plugged it in, I should have seen it. I should have investigated a little bit, but I didn't. Now, since Morgan and I are planning this trip, we're planning to go out west with the truck, build it into an overland build, and, you know, do crazy off-roading. I'm considering getting a front locker for the truck, a front Eaton locker, E-locker, so I can just basically lock the factory rear locker, lock the front Eaton locker, and just tear stuff up if I need to. But right now, I'm just concerned with getting the truck 100% roadworthy because this ABS issue is really frustrating me. Also, my rear locker does not work because the right rear ABS sensor is broken. I guess it can't sense, if it doesn't sense both the wheel speed sensors, it won't lock the rear, I guess. So I gotta get that resolved because the truck's only a true two-wheel drive at the moment. So I want the truck to be ideally a true four-wheel. So have front locker, rear locker. But the Eaton locker is like $1,500 for a front locker. Even though I can do it, the labor would be zero. It's just a huge expense because I also have to buy a ton of other things for this truck. Anyway, let's get into trying to figure out what all the issues are, and I'm going to show y'all what I did to fix everything so we can get this truck 100% again. So first, I'm going to show you a small clip of what the ABS sensor looked like out of the original hub when it was all ate up and tore up. And so I already replaced that. That was a long time ago, and I think I even made a video on it as well. But that was done, but that was one of my original issues.
So those sensors definitely messed up.
And the next couple clips are from when my ABS sensor in the rear was about to go out. The wire was bending and it was getting improper readings and the speedo was surging. So I'm gonna show y'all what that looks like right here.
So recently my ABS light has stopped, my traction control light has stopped blinking a lot, and it's just been, the throttle just has been jumping around. So I put the cruise control on. I just gotta wait till it surges and stuff. It's not even surging when there we go, surge. I didn't even hit a bump now. It used to be just when I hit bumps, but now it's surging just randomly. I'm just on a straight road in Alabama, which aren't bumpy like Louisiana. So a little update, I had the ABS and traction control lights blink and said they fault, like ABS fault, service required or something like that. And now my speedometer is holding and not bouncing around. I'm not touching anything right now. Crazy. So I'm running some tests on my truck again. So as you can see, I still have an ABS light on. I have 132,000 miles on the truck. I had this issue probably from around 40 or 50, maybe 60,000 miles. So this has been going on for quite a while, and I really haven't resolved it just because I've been lazy, I guess. I have many other vehicles, and ABS has not been a huge downside. But as you can see right now, I have only one sensor not reading, and it's the front left. I actually had the right rear not working for a long time, and I wasn't able to use my rear locker. I got an electronic rear locker right here. Just pull that out and it locks the rear, which is nice. But I haven't been able to use that because the right rear wheel speed sensor has not been working. So I finally found the issue. It was right behind the plug on the main harness. It was broken. One wire was broken. The scanner actually told me the right rear had an open circuit, which means there's no connection. The front left actually said circuit voltage was high. So there's still a voltage reading, but I think it's like, kind of off and on. I think it's a short in it. So I gotta track that down in the front left. That's why the ABS light is still on. But it's nice to have the brake light warning off, because I had that for actually just recently. And I think it's because I had two sensors not working at the same time. I think that's why the brake light was on. It was giving me check brake system and a brake light like my e-brake was on, that kind of the same light. So I'm glad it's gone, but I still have that ABS issue, so I gotta try to fix that. So I got home and I'm working on the truck. So the front left ABS sensor is what was having the issue. So I pulled the sensor out and I'm gonna take it to the other side and swap it to see if it is just the sensor itself. And then if it is, then I'll replace the sensor. If it's not, if the problem remains over here, then I know it's either the hub assembly or it's a wire further up or something. So hopefully it's just the sensor itself, and I can replace this $30, $40 part. So I swapped the sensors out. This is the OEM one, and all I did was just plug it in, and I erased the codes and ran a test, and it says right front wheel speed sensor. So it looks like the problem followed itself over to the passenger side of the truck. So it looks like we might be able to replace just the sensor and fix that issue. That would be awesome, because I am tired of messing with this ABS issue. So hopefully I can order one for the front left. These are actually slightly different. Like this won't even fit into this hub at all. So there is a difference for some reason. It flares out a little bit more on this one. I guess the OEM one is slightly different than the aftermarket. So we'll have to hopefully find one that fits that aftermarket hub, and we'll go from there. So let's start the truck. So as you can see, well, the brake light's on because that, but still giving me the service advanced track and ABS light. So that's been going on since probably like 100, or actually way less than 100. It is 132,000. It's probably been giving me that light since maybe 60,000 miles. So I've been driving it like this forever, but I'm finally going to try to fix the issue. So a long time ago, I replaced the rear sensor in the back right, which was part of the issue. And then I also replaced the front and left hub assembly because it was making a noise. The back right I figured out the other day was a broken wire, but the front left is still having an issue. And I actually swapped the sensor to the other side and found out that the problem followed it. So I got this sensor in the mail, and I'm going to pull it off again, and hopefully for the last time mess with this sensor. Sensor's over here. Let's plug it in. Let's go turn the truck on. We might have to drive with it a little bit, or possibly reset it at work or something. Pull the sensor out. Now we're gonna pull it all the way back. Undo the bolts right there and back trace it, and then we're gonna move this sensor in exactly where it was. Pop it in. We're gonna put the bolts back in up here. We're gonna lube up the O-ring on the sensor. Make sure the area is cleaned off, obviously. We're gonna put the sensor in. Put some Loctite on it, because this hopefully won't come out for a very long time, if ever. So I just replaced the sensor. So let's go take it for a test ride, see if it clears the code. So the ABS light is still on. Let's see the brake. Let's see if we drive a little bit and it recognizes it, hopefully. I really hope this fixes it. I am tired of having, yes! I am working on the rear parking sensors, so I'm actually cutting stuff out of the bumper right now. But oh my gosh, no lights. No lights! It only took me freaking like 3 years, 4 years to actually be motivated to do it. And like 60, 70,000 miles. Wow. Man, that's amazing. No lights on the dash. And it really hasn't bothered me too much. I've kind of gotten used to the lights being on just because it hasn't negatively affected my driving. I just have to be careful in the rain a little bit, stopping too hard, but other than that, like, I haven't gone off-road too many times, so the e-locker hasn't really bothered me too much. But it's so nice to be able to have no lights on and be able to use my hill descent and traction control off button and the rear locker and just everything. Just having a fully functional truck again is nice. Heck yeah.
So that is gonna be it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. We finally got the truck back to 100% operating like normal. And I'm so thankful for that because I've been prolonging it so long, finally had a reason to do it. Now I can actually start doing the fun modifications. Lift, rims, tires, roof rack, rooftop tent, LED lighting, you know, winch, all that kind of stuff I'm super excited for, and I hope y'all enjoy all the content upcoming in the near future. Until next time, catch you on the flip side.